In 1992, a movie called Basic Instinct was released. It was about a police detective investigating a murder case, and during the investigation, he begins to fall in love with the main suspect, author Catherine Trammell. Despite only really getting mixed reviews, it was a worldwide smash hit, making $353 million at the worldwide box office. Because this movie was so popular, it spawned a lot of copycats in the coming years. One example of a movie receiving clear influence from Basic Instinct was a movie called Body of Evidence, a movie released only 8 months later. Despite the fact that production only started a couple weeks after Basic Instinct was released in cinemas, the influence is incredibly clear. The clear difference between these two movies is that Body of Evidence absolutely bombed at the box office and received awful reviews. And after I watched the movie this afternoon, I completely understand. In this video, I'll be talking about why Body of Evidence is one of the worst movies you've probably never heard of. Before I get into why this movie is so awful, I guess I should tell you what it's all about. The basic plot is about a lawyer who defends a woman who was on trial for fucking an old man to death, and they start a relationship. So yeah, it sounds like it could have potential to not take itself too seriously and make an enjoyable, but not very good movie. But instead, it takes the route of being incredibly boring. So yeah, on to why this movie is so terrible. The number one worst problem with this movie is the acting. Everybody in this movie gives absolutely awful performances, with the obvious standout being Madonna. There really isn't any reason why she should be in this movie, as there are about 20 billion better choices than her, even though I guess she's attractive. When watching this movie, if it wasn't clear already, she should really just stick to singing. When she delivers her lines, it makes the already terrible script even worse. Other than that, it's pretty sad seeing quality actors such as Willem Dafoe, Julianne Moore, and others give performances as terrible as this. Another major problem with the movie is the absolute tonal whiplash that it suffers from. It often goes from softcore porn to boring courtroom drama in a matter of seconds. Actually, talking about the sex scenes, their unintentional hilariousness is the only entertainment value that this movie provides. They include a scene in which Madonna pours candle wax all over Willem Dafoe, which is hilarious and horrifying at the same time. Going back to the courtroom scenes, a real line in one of these scenes is, "She is a beautiful woman. When the trial is over, you will see her no differently than a gun, or a knife, or any other instrument used as a weapon. She's a killer, and the worst kind. A killer who disguised herself as a loving partner." And lines like this, it's impossible for me to get even any ironic enjoyment out of them. I can only go in and think this was an actual line in a Hollywood production. The only good thing to come out of this movie is the IMDb trivia page, which provided quite a fair bit of enjoyment after I found it being mentioned in another review. It's pretty great, with some of the best including Madonna's acting coach quit just before production began, claiming that she thinks she knows everything, which is totally believable and quite funny. Another one being, in interviews, Madonna stated that she found filming the sex scenes scientific, not sexy at all, but co-star Willem Dafoe admitted that he was turned on despite himself while filming the scenes, which basically means that Madonna is a scientist, and despite Willem Dafoe not liking Madonna, his dig had a pretty good time. The final best bit of trivia about this movie is Madonna, Willem Dafoe, and director Uli Edel spent 2 weeks rehearsing the sex scenes before filming began. I'm just imagining the director standing in the corner of the room while Madonna pours candle wax on Willem Dafoe's dick, which is a little bit weird to be honest. And one more absolutely atrocious thing about this movie. Julianne Moore delivers what is possibly the worst movie slap of all time. As you saw right there, I don't think she could have missed further if she tried, but for some reason, that take was kept in the movie. To sum up, Body of Evidence is a clear example of wasted potential. If it had a better script and a better lead actress, it really could have been a cheesy good time. However, it is ultimately just boring and stupid.